Okay, what about now? Is everything okay now? Hello, Xinyan, yes. Can you see me clearly now? Okay, if yes, please text 1 in the chat box. Xinyan, you're always there to help. That's really good. Okay, I can see you texting something like Jimson is giving the new link. That's really good. Okay, hello, Emma. Yes, I think everything is good here. Okay, so hello, Zhengrong. Yes, hello, Zhengrong. Nice to meet you. Okay, yes. So without further ado, actually today we'll have a lot of things going on here in my lesson because we're having a closing ceremony. So now let's continue. Okay. So make sure you are now sitting quite well. Okay, keep focused and try and enjoy my lesson. And just now, I talk about the place, okay, the library or the reading room in last week. And actually today, Vera has some problems. And so now let's help her out. So let's take a look. Here, again, we need to do some calculations. So filling the gap between two laboring numbers with a plus or a minus to satisfy the equation. So here I give you like 20 seconds very quickly to think about it. And remember, we may need to make a zero. How? With the two laboring numbers, we can use a plus or a minus to make it zero. Okay? So 26 seconds, you do it yourself. Actually, there are many different ways of doing that. So choose the one that you like, okay? But pay attention to the mistake, okay? There are some traps inside. So think about it very quickly. Okay, thumbs up. I think you have already got the answer. Okay. Of course, there are a lot of ways of solving the problem. Okay, so here are some of the ways. Okay, so the first one, let's take a look. Whenever we try to solve the problems, don't forget here we need to observe first. Okay, here this is the equation mark, and on the right here we have number 1. So we need to find out how we get a 1 here from the left. So here, doing it from left to right. So here in the beginning, we have a 2. And do you still remember there is a sign actually missing, right? So actually here we have a plus. Okay. So how can we make a 2 into 1? Of course, you may think about like 2 minus 1 equals 1, right? Okay. So can you tell me where can you find the 1 here? Yes, of course, here in the middle, we have 3 ones, okay? So actually, you can use a minus here to get 1, right? And what about the remaining numbers? We still have like 2 2s and 2 1s. What can we do with the numbers here? Yes, of course, make them 0. Still remember how we can make a 0? Yes, use a plus or a minus, right, in the neighboring numbers. So here that means we need to add a plus and a minus here to make a 0. And the same here we have a plus and also a minus to have a 0. Okay, and then we make a 1. And finally, pay attention. We need to check one more time. Okay, we'll do it again from the left to the right. So here 2 plus 2 is a 4. 4 minus 2 is a 2. 2 minus 1 is a 1. 1 plus 1 is a 2. And 2 plus 2 minus 1 is a 1. So make sure you need to double check your answer once you have finished that. Okay. And of course, we have a lot of different ways. So do you have some other different ways? If you have, please text a 6 in the chat box. Okay. If you have other ways to do that, please text a 6 in the chat box. Okay. The answer is there is not only one answer, possible answer. Actually, there are a lot. Okay, Xinyan, yes, good. You have another one. That's good, good. So I'm here to show you the other one. Okay, let's write it down here. We have 3 1s, okay, and 3 2s. And again, we need to make a 1 here. So actually, you can do it by comparing the numbers. Okay, so we do it from left to right, 2. So the first is a 2. So 2 is larger than 1. So what do we need? We need a minus or we need a plus. Yes, of course, we need a minus because 1 is smaller than 2. So we need to use a minus. Okay, but once we use a minus here, 2 minus 2 equals 0. So compare it again, 0 and 1. So 1 is larger than 0. So what do we need in the next sign? A plus or a minus? Yeah, here we should use a plus, okay, to make the number larger. So when we have a plus here, 0 plus 2. Okay, of course, here we have a 2. So again, compare it again, 2 and 1. 2 is larger than 1. And then we need to use a minus, right, to make it smaller. So again, here 2 minus 1 equals 1. Okay, so either way, you can do a minus. Okay, you can also do a plus. So like here, you can do a plus. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. And 2 is larger than 1. So here, finally, you need to use a minus to get the final answer. Okay, so this is what we call the comparing method. So you try to do it by comparing the numbers. Okay, so to check very quickly, if the number is larger, than the target number, okay, larger than the target number is 1 here in the case, okay, larger than the target number. So what do we need? A plus or a minus? A for plus, B for minus. Okay, text the answer in the chat box. If the number on the left is larger than the target number on the right, we need to use a minus or we need to use a plus. Okay, think about that. 2 is larger than 1 here. So actually we need to use a minus to make the number smaller because we need to get close to 1, right? So actually the correct answer is B, okay? It's B. So we need to use a minus. Okay, very good. Here